How the Mighty Fall. The Yellow Corporation, known as YRC, Yellow Roadway Crop. The one who was the king and the leader of transportation industry. Tragic end grabs attention of everyone. Yellow is the name of trust and faithful services all over the world, from 1924 to 2023. They serve their services for 100 years, starting from in Overland Park, Kansas to worldwide. In 1906, Grove Cleveland Herald started a business named Yellow Horse Cart Cab. And this means a lot to the people of Oklahoma. He bought his first car, and people feel pleasant and pay him more after using automobile right after World War I. He was the one who had many passengers and many drivers under the tree named Yellow Cab, collaborated with his brother. He chose specifically yellow color to make his vehicles visible and named them Yellow too. Yellow founders now search for more milestones to be mighty. So they started partnership with others. The goal of this partnership is to connecting bus line to Oklahoma City and Tulsa. In 1929, Yellow Transit freight lines, set up by Herald brothers after the discovery of oil in Oklahoma. They need workers and machinery to work yellow, provided a vast number FF employees for this purpose and get a label too. The government decided to increase the number of employees and increase the ratio of employment for this purpose. They met in Washington with self-employed business holders. But the minutes of this meeting was not in the favor of government. He has strong hold on taxicabs and trade out and on yellow cab services. Dynamic Gasoline Company, after his brother dissolved their partnership, this thing may change on them, but the strategic mindclave makes sure things must be under-enrolled no matter what has happened, but how long. He sold taxicab business in 1940 to the owner of Y Cab Co., but holds on Gasoline Company until his death in 1942. Herald declares bankruptcy due to subsidies and expansions. Despite this, all the new CEO of yellow companies offer replacement of small freight shipments, turn them into the trailer loads, or add them to because the company seems small in early 50s. And they kept the bankruptcy in black until the rise of a tycoon. 1968 was the game-changing for Yellow. Now they are the ones who proved themselves as Yellow Freight System instead of Yellow Transit freight lines. They boomed up their system with all modern technologies which help not only customers, but also the family of Yellow, no matter from where they give their services. However, success isn't everything. Sometimes the Majesties also see hurdles and problems. Yellow itself was a U.S. carrier company, but work privately with heavy assists. But the U.S. trucking industry try to overcome by making rules. Like Yellow and other private firms has to pay for roads which they used for deliveries or routes which they used for their other services. But fortunately, this rule could not sustain itself and give them reward, as Roadway Express, Reimer Express appeared themselves in Yellow Corporation, and this thing made them second largest LTL carrier named Yellow Roadway Corporation, which helped both the Yellow Cab and the Roadway Express, but firm lays off 20% of its workplace due to heavy competition and cannot get enough revenue. Things may not be seen every time. In 90s, Yellow moved to Canada and Mexico and bought Preston Trucking Company. Yellow paid approximately $24 million for regional and non-regional companies and marked themselves as Yellow Crop. The decade of 90s brings happiness and sadness side by side, for the workers and for the firm too. Teamsters union strike makes remarkable achievement for Yellow, and they decide to give 5% extra for their employees. By time they made huge changes and worked for its betterment step by step, the Yellow Crop also changed their name Westex, so they laid off 70 administrative employees to reorganize geographic lines, which helped them a lot. They bought many projects like Jevic Transportation. They extend their business by adding transport companies from north to south and east to west. Entering in a new century brings new challenges as well. Yellow partnered two big companies to be a part of 21st century and pursue its facilities by adding transportation.com to facilitate their customers. Sometimes things are not the same as we saw them. Yellow downfall starts from the mid-90s. The economy causes the decreasing of gross worth of the company. As a result, the expenses of companies is higher than the earnings. YRC, Yellow Roadway Crop, is the parent company of Yellow Roadway, and others changed the name into YRC worldwide. In 2008, the financial report of YRC shows net loss of $974 million. Again in 2009 report also shows $622 million loss. In 2009, they started a protection from bankruptcy, and they achieved by saving $470 million. Once again, YRC holds its position, but For this purpose to maintain YRC in business, the activity of shareholders and the payments of workers decreased massively. Business reduces day by day. Yellow Transportation and Roadway Express merged themselves. As YRC, similarly Yellow Canada's services appeared into Reimer Express, and then known as YRC Reimer. According to Ability, their debt is the main cause of their downfall. By the time they sold their lands, tunnels, companies to pay the department. But that was not enough to pay department. Closing of Yellow Crops, where affects employees, it also affects on U.S. tax pays. In 2020, Yellow get a loan from federal governments approximately $700 millions. The Treasury Department is under the debt of more than $700 millions. The U.S. economy remains strong unless people change the needs. Instead of using trucks for goods, they used other things which decreased the value of trucks. This thing pressurized Yellow more than anything, because a big part of transportations belongs to Yellow, the king of roads. Yellow LTL Carriers, one of the best-known carrier services, has ended. After the end of Yellow, the rates of other who depend on LTL increased. But the concern is, nation supply chain must be under control. Yellow was a company with 32,900 employees who served their services. But with the non-serious behavior with employees, unable to fulfill their demands, gives a severe damage in the form of strike. The low cash reverse also caused to boycott Yellow and give priority to others. Stakeholders with their shares become the owners according to their partnership. Everybody knows sooner, PR later, Yellow declares its bankruptcy. On August 6, 2023, they officially announced Yellow and its belongings write a note to the state Delaware for bankruptcy protection. Yellow properties set up for an auction. Things which they made with profit and loan, now other winning them in a sale. Till December 2020, all belongings of Yellow declared bankrupt and 30,000 plus employees laid off. The end of an era. Tragedy is this. They get loaned to be the leader of trucking industry and others 20 years ago. And in the end, they do not have their own chain left. Sometimes what we have is more than enough than the things we want to get. Thanks for watching. Hope so. You enjoy the video. See you in the next one.